Yay. Hi, Pinky. Oh, I don't think he can hear me.
All right, hey,
What's up,
Hi,
gang?
guys.
not much. How you guys doing?
Not much. Good over here. Hi, Brandon.
Hi.
Hi. I look crazy. Don't mind me. I've been babysitting my grandbaby.
Okay.
Gary is here.
Can you hear us? Carrie, can you hear us? Can you hear us? No?
Maybe she doesn't connect. Did you connect to the audio?
Carrie, you on mute? Let's see here. You can't hear us?
Hmm.
Let's see. What's going on? Can't hear us? No? Is there?
Let's see.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yay!
I can't hear you.
Can't hear us? You can't hear us?
I can't hear you.
Oh, no.
Come on.
I don't know what to do.
It's weird. I wonder why.
Let's see. Ashley, can you hear us?
I think she's muted.
Oh, yeah, she is mute. Ashley, you're muted.
I know, I'm trying to connect to my Bluetooth so you guys don't hear my kids running around like hooligans.
Can you hear me, though?
I can hear. Yeah, it's on. Got it.
Okay. All right.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
We're just going to wait for Carrie to jump back in here. Having some audio issues with her side.
Okay. Yeah, and Lolly said she is too.
Let's see. Somebody else just texted me too. 323. All right, no whammies. Come on, Carrie. Connecting. Hold on. Can you hear us now, Carrie?
Can you hear anything?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
They said they can hear me, but I can't hear them.
You can't.
Okay, now try going to the volume button on your Mac. It should be on the top right.
Mm-hmm.
She phoned a friend.
Oh, there it is.
Can you
There we
hear
go.
it?
Wait.
And then just go up with it.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes.
We can hear you. Amal, she phoned a friend.
Yeah, that's my technical support.
Yep.
Sorry.
No problem. No problem. And we're just gonna try to get Lolly on here too. And somebody else just texted me too. I'm not sure who it is, but I have some numbers. I'm not sure who it is, but how's everybody doing?
Good.
Speak.
Yeah.
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 Good. So we're gonna talk about some. Did everybody get my email, by the way? Is anybody getting your emails?
Yeah.
I got it.
It goes through like a third party, so I just don't know if anybody ever gets them.
You're doing it.
Doing it. I'm new to it, but I'm doing it.
You're doing it. Like it.
Let's see. All right, what is it? 707. Stuff's not easy. It's hard.
Oh, for sure.
A lot to do here.
Yeah, it's a learning curve, definitely.
All right. We'll get started anyway. I think Amber's going to be joining us late. Lolly's trying to get in, and then whoever's texting me, I'm not sure. I don't have their contact, but anyway, we'll get started. I'm gonna start sending agendas anyway. Like I'll send you a Google Doc with things we talk about, like main topics. Oh, here we go. This might be there first. Let's see.
Oh, hi, Mom. Oh, I'm surprised she hasn't phoned a friend, meaning me.
Hold on. The connection's still going through. She's connecting to audio.
A little better than I am.
Can
Hello.
you hear us?
Hello, I can hear you. Can you hear
Mom.
me?
Yes.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sometimes on my phone you can't hear, but I'm going to mute myself so I can listen, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
All right, we'll get started. Like I said, some other people are probably going to join in here, but so the agenda, or the topic today, is going to be mirroring. If anybody knows what that is, mirroring, and then the unknowingly inspiring others, like the unconscious things we do that do inspire people around us. Most of the time, the closest people around us, we don't even know it. But I want to start with mirroring. It is just the unconscious act. It's a behavior in which one person unconsciously imitates gestures, speech patterns, movements, everything. It's a nonverbal mirroring system. So the person leading the conversation or listening, it doesn't matter, it goes back and forth, and it's happening both ways. And it's a way for humans to connect and try to show, instead of the person speaking, the other person might start gesturing and doing the same things as them. It's a strong sign to let that person know that you're engaged to them and they're important, and it helps them to keep going. And it's this back and forth thing that we do. It's actually pretty fun to test when you're around people. Do it in a conversation. That's part of the homework for next week, is going to be get in a conversation with somebody, business, family, friend, start talking, start do things like I'm doing now. If I'm moving my hands, or if I go like this and start to talk, watch to see if they imitate you. I promise you'll see things happen. A lot of people will start in a conversation. You're standing, they cross their arms, the next person will cross their arms within seconds of you doing it. So,
And that's unconsciously?
what's that?
That's unconsciously people do that?
Unconsciously, yeah. It's an acceptance mechanism between people, because
Okay.
human beings innately want to follow. They want to be led. And that's why there is so few leaders and a lot of followers, right? And it's in our nature to be influenced and follow others. This is just a human act between people. Animals do similar things too. When and two species come together, there's another thing called framing. This is more like who controls the situation. This is more like a business side of things. Mirroring is everybody. Framing is like taking mirroring and taking advantage of that, like knowing that it's a thing and winning your sales conversations, winning your conversations in your relationship. So it's kind of using it as a weapon. It can be dangerous, but it's called framing in sales. It's for you to build a bigger frame than the person you're speaking to, so you win the conversation. Let them mimic you. Let them follow you. So why I bring this up is, one, it's very prevalent in my business, in our psychology aspect. We bring it up all the time with our clients. I've studied it for a long time because it came to interest me a long time ago on what I was doing, why some people learn differently in coaching and other people didn't. But I brought it in this conversation today because Chad Veach had an interesting message this past week. And it was about, I think it was about, he was talking about, yes, are you influenced by God? Or are you following God? Right? And there's a clear definition between the two, influence and following. So a lot of us are influenced by a lot of things, especially in today's thing. Everything is influence. It's social media influence. It's pictures. It's all those things, right? We get brief seconds of people. That's influence. Hey, Lolly.
Hey, Lolly.
Hola, hi, how are you?
Good. I'm glad you can join us. So we just got started. We're just talking about two things, mirroring and the unknowingly inspiring others, like the unconscious act of inspiring people when you don't even know it. So
That's right.
when we talk about the mirroring and how it relates to what Chad said about, are you influenced by God or are you following God? Influence is literally just being a bystander. Influence can be you follow somebody on Instagram. Let's use just today's method. Like you follow somebody. How often do you actually engage with them though and talk to them? If I looked at all your followers, how many do you actually talk to on a regular basis? Probably not a large percentage.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe some of you do. That's a skill though. But that's influence. That's like we want to see what they're doing. It might influence our day a little bit. It might steer us to a thought, idea. But truly believe in something is to follow it. Right? Follow faith, blindly into it. So he had a great message because I wrote this thing last week and then he had that message and it was like, wow, what great timing, because it was exactly what I wanted to talk about. And then the unknowingly inspiring people. This is what like changed my life really. It's like in my business, I learned it through taking a chance and being an entrepreneur and like going all the way and wanting to be like change myself on another level, like hold an expectation of myself so much higher than I thought I could achieve because I looked at other people doing it, but I never realized until I was in it that there's so many things before it. And it does start with influence. Like it starts with influence. I was influenced to make a decision to go after my dream. But during that time, influence changes into following. Following changes into transformation. Transformation is massive. That's what we all want, right? But
Absolutely.
the road to it is a struggle. Like for me, it was a struggle. Like I was influenced by church. I went with my mom when I was young. I stopped going because I didn't really like it. I went later in my years because I just appeased her. Like, I'll go with you, or I'll go with you. But I was only influenced by it. I never followed it. I never let it really get into my life deep. I just went. I thought it was like what you do. Go on Sunday. That's it. Check out till next Sunday. So I think that the big thing what he was saying about the influence between influence and following is really starting with knowing that at any moment, just by human nature, people are trying to mirror you, especially if they look up to you. And a lot of times we don't know that people are even looking up to us. Like some people here, like we have a lot of clients come in here. Lolly, I know you have a lot of clients. Ashley, you see a ton of people on any given day. Other kids, like Christina, like there's a lot of people coming in and out of your life every day. And sometimes we take for granted the fact that they're looking up to us, not at us, or coming for a service. They actually look up to us. That's why they come for the service, right? I mean, just a message. I'll call you out, Ashley, but like Ashley does this all the time for me. She sent me a message the other day and just said, you know, I'm proud of you, you know, all this stuff like that. I forget that stuff until she writes it. That's huge. Like I'll go on thinking that I don't want recognition. I'm not being recognized, even though I started this whole thing so that I would be transformed and I could share it and give it back. But I find myself in a trap a lot that I don't even realize how many people I can possibly be infecting every single day that walk in this door that can pull bad energy off me if I'm going through something bad, or not even giving enough credit that I gave them some good energy. So I think it's important for all of us to really like have deep self-awareness. And that, I think self-awareness really starts with self-worth. I think I've struggled with massively in my life. Like getting to a point where I look around and feel blessed and I look what I have, but wonder why I don't feel the same way. Like why can't I feel like I have the self-worth for what I've done? And I think it comes with having a deep dive in yourself. One, like really getting deep into knowing that all of us are the same. There's not one of us that has it easier. Everybody has a different version of our own story. There's no easier way of life. We look at other people. That's the influence part. We look slightly influenced. We see somebody we think's having it better and easier, and we wonder why we can't have it. To me, that is the devil.
Yeah.
That's the 2-hour devil, and everybody knows what that is. You start flicking, next thing you know, you look at your clock, it's 2 hours, like, holy shit. I've been on my phone that long. It's because you get sucked into influence. It's not what you believe in. It's what you're influenced by in the moment. So it's a big difference of what it is. And I think it was the message, if you read it, it's on YouTube. You can watch Chad's whole message about it, but he was talking about fishermen being fishers of men. Like, don't just be a fisherman, follow me and I'll make you fishers of men. You know, in Matthew, like that's massive. And they did. They followed him, right? They're not just influenced by God being in his life or religion being a thing in people's lives. So that really moved me. I mean, it really relates into my life every day. And I started this thing because I really wanted to do like the crossroads between like work and your life and religion. Like all the things we have to go through at work or trying to push the next level or high level position or entrepreneurship, the hardness that go with that is not much different than religion. There's a lot of crossroads. You learn a lot of the things. Some are just biblical writings and some are like actually happening to you today that are the same as what was happening to that person hundreds of years ago. So I think it's fascinating for me to actually get into my faith later in my life and see all these things. But a couple of things I want to share with you guys. So I told you I learned a lot of this through entrepreneurship, but during my journey, it was really about trying to transform myself and break my chain from where I grew up and who I grew up around and my family and being the first person to go to college. And I had a lot of like pressure that I put on myself to like break the chain and like transform myself into something. And man, I wish I had got to the point I am today when I decided to break the chain, because I just left unknowing anything. I just knew what I didn't want. But it also made me really go against our religion, faith, God. I felt lonely. I felt on an island. I felt like he couldn't be real because he wasn't there for me. Why would I be going through this if he was real? And I felt all those guilty things, and it took me a long time to correct the curve. Whereas I feel like today, every day is like last 10 years of my life. Like every day I cover 10 years of my past. It took me time. So I really do think it hit me because the influence is like, I've known God. My mother was probably worked for him, I believe. I still think that. She was so involved, so blessed by God, so happy at everything. Everything she saw through her eyes was through God. She was unbelievable. And I fought it my whole life. And that holds regret in my heart because I had somebody that close right next to me, and I didn't take advantage of it because I thought the influence was enough. My mom's got it. You know what I mean? She's got it covered. She's so deeply involved. She's got my back too, by association. I was like, I could be a little bad because she's so good. We're all good. You know, she's my gang. So I think it took me a lot. It took me way longer than it should have to even get here. And by here, I mean, I'm so far away from where I want to be still. Literally, I feel like I'm miles and miles away from my transformation today. But the great thing is this thing, I went back and forth to chat about this for 2 months. I don't want to do it because I like talking to people one-on-one, as you know, most of you know, but I don't love feeling like I should be listened to, if that makes sense. Like I don't feel, let's go back to my self-worth thing. I don't feel like I should be running a group. I don't feel like I should be leading anything.
Why do you feel that way?
Many reasons. Like it's the same reason I've put off a lot of things in my life to be in front of this business, I've always wanted this business to run so nobody knew I ran it. Like I just never wanted to be the face of something. But it goes back a long time.
But it was presented to you, so there's a reason why
Of course.
Of the group.
Yeah.
So
You have to talk to my therapist about that.
if I talk to your therapist, we'd
You have to open the files. I left it in my will. It's going to be open documents to the internet when I die. She has full reign to share it with all public.
I'm kidding. You're great. You're great. That's like
But Pinky, for real, like I think that's kind of a like the closer you get to God, I feel like sometimes that's a stance that a lot of us kind of take on in our heart as we start to kind of humble ourselves before him. The more we realize that there's so much that we don't know, right? So I think that it's like bravo that you're able to say it, right? And man, also bravo that you're fighting it, because the enemy wants you to just keep that in your mind, right? And like stop you from evangelizing and from sharing the gospel and from like loving on people in the way that Jesus wants us to love on them. But it really resonates with me too. What you just said, like that's legit. Like it's like you took that out of my head, and it's a battle that I've been fighting for years as well. So I get that.
We're the same.
Yeah.
I think this is a point of my message this week was mirroring is a simple thing that's happening between human beings, but the bigger picture behind mirroring is we mirror each other because we are the same. We're going through these same things. We're living the same life in the same timeline. It's just happening different in our own heads. The problem, it has titled something different. That's it. You know, it's if you tell the same stories, if you're really listening to somebody and they tell you their bad story and you tell them your bad story, if you're really listening from a third-party standpoint, there'd be so many similarities in the two stories, it'd be a joke. You'd be telling the same story. Different names, different time, position, all these things, but just different characters, the same movie though. We're all in it together. So when you say that, it's huge because this is the bounce back you need to know that you're not, one, by yourself, right? Two, you are worth everything. Because we're all doing this together, right? None of us had to show up to this. You know, I was scared that the first day I did it, nobody would even click on. I was like, this thing working? I'm like looking in the corner, like, How do I get people in here?
Well, I want to pipe in just a second as mom is speaking to a son and many children, and I am a public speaker to my Mir sisters. We are fearfully and wonderfully created, and I want to say, Michael, bravo to you, because none of us want to stand up ever and speak, but he gives you the courage and the strength to do it. You know, and in the very beginning, nobody wants to get up and do it, but he's going to give you the words to say it out loud, and your mom is saying, bravo, start it, go. And your creator is saying, I'm going to give you the courage. I'm going to give you the words. Now go for it. Now I'm going to mute myself because I don't want to say
No,
anymore.
I love you. Anytime you want to say something, you say it.
Well, I'm going to,
I appreciate
my daughter's on the line, so
No, I wanted to say almost the exact same thing, that it's like you start to listen to exactly what God is nagging and just telling you, like putting something in front of you, and you're like, all right. And then you take that leap and you're like, that wasn't so bad. Then he gives you something else and you take that leap and you take that leap, and then the influence and people start to watch you, and you're like, and then that, like we were talking about 2 weeks ago about like, oh, who am I to lead, or who am I? Why are people going to be called to listen to me? And it goes to the influence, and it goes to the mirroring, and like mirroring in sales is a little bit different. Like when I'm talking to like a client, I try to mirror them so they feel comfortable. Like if they're really soft-spoken, I'm going to be soft-spoken. If they're really loud and like, you know, enthusiastic, I'm going to be really loud and enthusiastic. But it goes hand in hand. Like if I notice that somebody is doing that, I know that they're listening intently to what I have to say. And I know that my words and my actions are going to make an influence on that person. Yes. So it goes hand in hand, but it also just goes back to what we were talking about like 2 weeks ago about who am I to start a group like this, or who am I to say something, or who am I to lead, or what. People aren't even going to listen. And if God's calling you to do it, people will start following and people will start believing, because your heart's in the right spot and your words are pure and you're following what you're being called to do.
Amen. And you know, if we don't do it, guess what? Like Jonah, he'll put you in a big fish, and then you'll be chomping in a belly of a fish. And guess what? He'll put you someplace else until you are obedient. And you know, your mom probably at one time, she went through the same struggle you went through, and she had to relive it. So talk to your mom, and she's going to say, hey, I had a mom too, that I thought she was holier than thou, because Ashley just had the same struggle with her son today. And she had to tell her kids, your grandma was not as good as your mom is. So, you know, Michael, it is what it is. None of us are perfect. We all make huge mistakes because we have only one person in this planet that was word and came down and gave us the words, the written word.
Yes.
And that's good that you bring that up, Mom, because so my son today, he was going to run away. So he packed his bag. He got his little sister. He told his little sister, we're both running away. They both packed their bags. I'm all, see you later. Have a good one. Like,
they called Grandma to say, I'm going to run to Grandma's house.
So they left, and then they came back. I don't want to run away. We're just going to go to Nani's house. And I go, oh, okay. Do you realize Nani raised me, right? Like, you think Nani's all like cupcakes and rainbows, but like, let me tell you how Nani was for me. Like, it's not what, you know, she's the grandma. She has a different role than a mother.
Yeah. That's great perspective. That's exactly it. I love what both you said. It is exactly that. I love perspective in every way. And it's good to even listen to kids sometimes and see their perspective on life, because it's so young and untainted, right?
Uncorrupt.
Yeah, it's just not the pressures of the world are not on their brains yet. So it's equally as important to listen to the skew of people living life, right? I want to share this message. This is short. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5 words. So I had a bit of a struggle this weekend. just through my head. It's nothing crazy, but I just had a bit of a struggle this weekend about where I am and all the things I'm taking on. I was a little bit just down in my head about it. And coming in Monday, I get 2 messages, and I didn't talk to either of these people during the weekend. One's from Ashley, just 5 words. You're loved and making waves. 5 words. Almost made me cry because it changed my morning and my day. Because I came out of Sunday really stressed in my mind. Just pulled away a little bit from my own belief system. Wrote that, and then my sister, I don't even know. I don't know how she knows ever. She writes a much longer one. It was along the same lines of the opportunity you have for the rest of your life is far greater than you think. As soon as you think it, you will see it. Your actions will follow. Following is the way. Again, she doesn't follow Chad. She didn't read my message here that I wrote. But this is why I believe that we are more alike each other than anything else. We're connected on a level that cannot be explained only by whether you believe in the pure science of the atoms of the world or God. It doesn't matter. We are aligned so much greater and higher at a level that those things can happen. Right? My sister's empathic. That's why I know that she knows when I'm feeling down or it doesn't matter. But it's not even about that. It's about we're connected on so many levels. It's sickening. Like, how could Ashley write me that message and my sister not even 9 minutes later write that message when I needed it the most? Right? It's not a coincidence. Right? This is God working through all of us and us watching out and having each other's back. So I think that's super important that all those things came together. One, I wrote this thing, then I watched Chad's message. I came out of Sunday still a little bit off. Ashley texted my sister, texted me. It was like, too much. Too much is a line for it not to be real, right? For God's grace not to be touching everybody all at once. So I'm just massively grateful, one, for where I am in faith now, but more importantly, that I can even do things like this. I have a group of people that we mutually respect, that we're just all going through it together. And my homework for you guys is to just know that next time around, somebody have a little fun and do the mirroring, because it actually is fun, especially if somebody close and you can pick on them. And 2, literally keep your eyes open for the people that are looking up to you and at you for inspiration every day. Because sometimes you don't know that you're an inspiration to somebody, but you are. Everybody is to somebody. You just got to keep your eyes open for it. Don't underplay it. Everybody's a leader. Right? You don't need to be running a company or a president, or everybody's a leader in an aspect of your life. So stand up to it. That's my challenge for you. And we got 6 minutes and 20 seconds left. So I'm going to open the floor to anybody like to talk before we get cut down. Anybody like to say anything in closing?
Oh,
Carrie?
Oh, I was just going to say, that I think we have a tendency to judge our insides to everybody's outsides, and when we're really all the same inside, and I think that is like a barrier sometimes, is that we're looking at it the right way,
I love it. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
We're all livers and organs and stomachs and hearts.
Right?
Yeah, I love that.
We all have the same feelings, When you look at somebody on the outside, we think, oh, they've got it all together, and I don't, and it's not true.
It is. We all have it together, and we all don't.
Yeah.
All the time, and a lot of times.
Good.
That's the hills and valleys.
Right.
What else we got here? Lolly, how's everything going? How's your mother doing? I want everybody to keep praying for Lolly's mother. She's still in the hospital. Lolly is making the ultimate sacrifice. She's going back and forth from Cleveland to make this work. So
I'm trying my best. And, with what you said earlier about, I guess, being connected and going to church every Sunday, and that's just kind of like a habit, I guess. But actually being connected and talking to him every day, that is what gets me past everything. I feel like I can do everything. I feel like I can maybe, be here and be over there, along with like the supportive family, of course. They're amazing. My mom, she is out of the hospital. I'm at the apartment right now. That's why I'm outside.
Yes.
I'm in Ohio. This is Ohio. And she's recovering pretty well. She always surprises us. She's always a strong lady. She's a little bit of pain, but it just goes with, the whole recovery part. I'm just glad that I'm here now. I just arrived here today, and I'm waiting for my COVID test to results, so that I can actually touch her and help her heal and all that good stuff. And I'm grateful for what I can do, because I always say, if you take, I touch people all the time, literally touch them. And absolutely, we all have something that is common with everybody, just like a little different perspective.
Yep.
But at the end, it's the same thing, and we all can help each other out in one way, shape, or form, even if it's not the same thing or the same perspective you have. You can see the other perspective and really get through whatever it is that you're going through. So I'm just glad to be here, and I like to hear everybody's stories and what they have to say, and I'm grateful for this group, of course. So thank you.
I'm grateful, and I'm blessed to know you, and I'm so happy to hear that your mom's out. That's awesome.
Yeah, she's not. It's just so not see her on an oxygen tank. She's breathing on her own. It's amazing.
I love that. All right, we're gonna wrap up here. I listened to this one thing one time. I love this because it's so simple. I don't know if it was. I'm gonna mess this up. I think it was maybe the speech Denzel Washington was doing, but Les Brown does the same thing. He says, "I hope tonight before you go to bed, you put your shoes way under your bed, so in the morning when you get up, you have to get on your knees
Amen.
to find them."
Awesome.
I love you all. I appreciate you. Thanks for showing up. It means a lot to me. This is the best part of my week. It gets me going. So I appreciate y'all, and we will see you. I'm gonna try to do next week. We'll see. I gotta the law of the church.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate
Yes.
you all.
Love you guys.
Love
Have a wonderful night.
You too. Take care. Thanks, Pinky. That was a great message.
Bye-bye.
Very. Good night. Good night. Bye.